You've probably heard the terms AI automation and AI agents thrown around a lot lately, right? And hey, they sound kind of similar, and a lot of people use them interchangeably. But what if I told you one is like a simple robot worker and the other is more like a digital employee that can actually think for itself? Let's break down what that really means and figure out which one you should be paying attention to.
So, first things first, do these two terms mean the same thing? The short answer is absolutely not. And honestly, understanding the difference is crucial if you want to get the most out of AI, whether it's for your business or even just your own personal projects.
All right, let's lock in a simple analogy that's going to guide us through this whole thing. Think of AI automation as your dedicated robot worker. It does exactly what it's told, no more, no less. An AI agent, on the other hand, is your robot thinker. You give it a goal, and it figures out how to get there. Now, let's really dig into what that means.
First up, let's get to know our robot worker and really understand what we mean when we say AI automation.
At its heart, AI automation is all about using artificial intelligence to handle very specific, predefined tasks that follow a strict set of rules. There's no guesswork here, It's all about precision and doing the same thing over and over again perfectly. The core logic behind pretty much all AI automation is this simple formula. When X happens, do Y. It's like a set of digital dominoes. So, for example, when a new email with an invoice arrives, then extract the data and add it to a spreadsheet. Tools you've probably heard of, like Zapier or Make.com, are absolute masters of this if this, then that world. Let's take a classic example, getting a daily weather email. It's so simple. First, there is a trigger. It just goes off at, say, 7 a.m. every morning. Then, it automatically pulls the latest weather forecast from some online service. And finally, it sends you a nicely formatted email. It's a perfect, reliable workflow that does the exact same thing every single day without fail. So here's the key takeaway about our robot workers. They are incredible executors. They're fast, they're reliable, and they never get tired. But they don't think. If the website for that weather forecast suddenly changes its layout or an email address is typed in wrong, the whole automation just stops. It fails. It can't problem solve. It just breaks. So if that's the worker, what about the thinker? This is where things get really interesting. Let's meet the AI agent. See, unlike its rule-based cousin, an AI agent is a goal-driven system. You don't give it a rigid checklist of steps to follow, you give it an objective. And this is a revolutionary shift. For decades, we've had to program every single step for a computer. Now, we can just define the outcome we want, and the agent has the power to make decisions, to learn, and to adapt its approach to get there. I mean, just look at the difference in this instruction. This isn't a simple if this, then that. This is a complex, multi-step objective. The agent has to figure out how to find leads, what criteria makes them qualified, and how to handle the whole follow-up process. It's a mission, not just a command. And an AI agent can do all of this because it's got some incredible capabilities. It can reason and create its own plan. It might even ask you questions if the goal isn't totally clear. It can look at a bunch of different tools and choose the best one for the job. Heck, it can even work with other agents. It's less like a tool and a lot more like a junior teammate. Okay, so now that we've met both our robot worker and our robot thinker, let's put them side by side to really hammer home the differences. If you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. AI automation is purely reactive. It just sits there and waits for a trigger to tell it what to do. An AI agent is proactive. It's constantly thinking about its goal and figuring out the very next step it needs to take, all on its own. Let's break this down even more. Logic-wise, automation is all about the rules, while an agent is all about the goal. This makes automation reactive, while agents are proactive. And that leads to a huge difference in flexibility. Automation is rigid, it's limited, while agents are super adaptive. And this is a big one. Automation is just a one-way street of commands, but an agent can have a two-way conversation and it actually remembers what happened before. It has context. So that's the theory. But what does this all look like in the real world? Let's run through a few common business scenarios to see our worker and our thinker in action. Okay, customer support. An automation might see a keyword in an email, like refund, and then send a pre-written canned reply. It's fast, sure, but it's pretty impersonal. An AI agent, on the other hand,
can actually understand the customer's real problem, look up their order history, and have a genuine, helpful conversation to solve their unique issue.
What about data entry? Well, automation is fantastic at just copying information from field A in one system to field B in another. Super simple, super effective. But an agent, it takes it way further. It can actually check if the data is correct, clean up any formatting mistakes, and even go online to find missing info to make the record more complete, all by itself.
And let's look at marketing. You could use automation to schedule a month's worth of social media posts that you've already written. That's the robot worker, just handling the posting. The robot thinker, the AI agent, could be tasked with a bigger goal, like growing your engagement. It would write its own posts, test out different headlines, analyze the results, and then change its strategy over time to get better. See the difference? One does a task, the other achieves a goal.
So, this all brings us to the big question. Which of these AI teammates should you actually hire for your own tasks?
Well, here's our pretty straightforward recommendation. For any task that is super repetitive and predictable, use AI automation. It's cheaper, it's faster, and it's incredibly reliable for those kinds of jobs. But the moment your task requires making decisions, solving complex problems, or having real conversations, you need an AI agent. But here's the real pro tip. The most powerful systems don't actually choose one or the other. They combine them. You can use a simple automation to kick off an AI agent, giving it the data it needs to start its complex task. Think of it this way. You're getting the reliable structure of automation to power the dynamic intelligence of an agent. It's truly the best of both worlds. So the final question for you isn't just about technology, it's about strategy. As you think about the challenges you face every day, which teammate are you going to hire first? The tireless robot worker or the resourceful robot thinker?